everybody, this is A7X Fan Ben, and welcome back to the hourly campaign. So this is session number 8, and I'm going to do an hourly session here to get my 4th session of November in right now. Yeah, looks like the stream is getting going, so that's good. I've got my documents up here. It's turn number 5. The English are up right now, 3rd faction in the turn order, I believe, and just going to make sure to decrease the resource counter. So without further ado, I'll start playing. Probably play some music during this session as well. But, alright, I gotta figure out what's going on and where I left off and all that good stuff. And in the meantime, Vassal Campaign Game 4 has actually continued very recently, so that's cool. So, might be seeing some reports about that, hopefully. Whether it's a streamed turn or like a video battle report of multiple turns. One of the two, most likely. And so the English are up. So the King's Cove. Yes, the English, they got rum, right? I'm trying to think what's going on here. I don't understand the 4 coin. I don't know why that's there. They only had 4 in the first place. I think they spent that. I don't think that should be there anymore. I don't know why. Unless I'm doing something wrong. They got 4 gold from rum and spent it on HMS Patagonia, transferred the King's Cove's helmsman to the Patagonia, so she'd be, you know, not fast, but at least better than S. So, alright. Yeah, the King's Cove still has her explorer, and she is headed east. Check out this island over here, and her ability will not come into play right now. Doing that display capture, so then you can see the windows as they come up rather than just the Vassal window. Alright. So that's one ship, and then the King. Oh, okay, here we go. King's Heart has. Okay, so she found luxuries. Looks like, man, yeah, I'm like behind the times, or I guess I'm just rusty because I guess she has a luxury. Let me just make sure I got these other coins set up right. She has rats, and then okay, so none of these take up space, I guess. Opal of Opalaka. That's a good one. Knights of Malta Banner. Will be interesting to see what they do with that, if they put it on a gunship later on. Okay, so yeah, so she's got a luxury aboard, and that means that the island produces luxuries. Oh, I think it was reset. Okay, now I'm remembering. Okay. I guess, yeah. So I think one of the UTs discovered was marooned, and then that resets, I don't know if it's from Xerix, I think, that resets the resources of all the islands. Let me just make sure I have it over here. I'm trying to remember the different things. Or no, that's a different one. Maybe I found marooned. I don't know if it was this game or in CD4. All islands become unexplored. If used in a common game, all resources are reset. Yeah, Adrift is the one, not marooned. Adrift has left the islands devoid of resources, or they have to be reset. So, okay. So there shouldn't be a luxury token on the island, I guess. She might try to split the gap there. I gotta roll for SAT in a second. Yeah, she's gonna see if she can get through the Sargasso Seas, which would be kind of lame. Kind of makes me want to move them so no ships can get through. Make it, like, connected, but... Alright, same action twice roll. Doesn't work, but she's... Oh, so why am I moving again? Whoops. I'm just, like, assuming that it worked. Anyway. Oops. Alright. So, the Patagonia, moving S+S. So that finishes up the English for their turn. Just move actions, trying to figure out what they're doing and what they have going on. And now the Vikings do the same thing with them. They've got a shipwright on their home island. The Khartoum has Runes of Wealth. Takes up a cargo space. She's not at capacity. That's a weird one. That's going to be really weird with the resources, especially. I don't know how that's going to work, but whatever. And if UTs don't work the right way, because I'm using resources and not gold for the most part, or because of other house rules, I'll just dump the UTs in the ocean or whatever. So, Dead Man's Chest as well, so that's cool. And then she has, I'm just going to move them so I don't have to bring up the window or anything. The little tiny sub-window. Explorer and Helmsman. The Vikings with their home island there. But they're excited to explore this island next turn with the Frost. So she docks, and she'll explore next turn. The Khartoum maybe saw an island to the south on her way in before they discovered their home island. So she's going to head southeasterly, and that's the Viking turn. So I go even farther south, and I see the Dutch, who are splitting up, almost reminiscent of the Caribbean game, where they've got a strategy where they're sending 8 ships to explore in the different directions of the compass rose. But anyway, yeah, it's going to be tough to remember custom abilities and which ships have helmsmen and which don't. So the Braic has a helmsman. I'm just going to move her first then. So 3S. Now the Vikings got to be careful. They're seeing this island with, probably about 2 of their ships. Stardom sees it, but seeing all the reefs right there, they don't really want to make that their home island. It is an intriguing choice because of the lagoon right there, and I know the lagoon has gold on it, but it's not, I don't know. There's certain like gamey things like putting your home island right there that I don't really want to do. So I'd rather have home islands kind of either not with terrain or not close to other things like lagoon or gold locations. Like purposely getting your home island near a gold location is kind of gamey, and I would probably just nix the lagoon's gold at some point. Like this island in the lagoon, I would just have it stop replenishing gold after like not that long. So it could actually backfire if I think they've made a kind of a gamey or overpowered choice. So they're gonna keep going, and just in general, they're just gonna sail because they don't have a lot of prospects right now. They do see this island coming up here. Okay, wait. Okay, I should have moved the L first, but that's fine. It's going in a straight line. And then finally their last ship here, De Griffioen, no ability but a link. So she's L plus S as well. So she kind of sees this island here, but again, there's reefs, and then you'd have to go round Earth, which gets kind of funky. So the Dutch, despite having 5 ships, the most of any starting fleet, they still don't really have a location they like yet for home island. We can kind of investigate more than them and say that this island here might be decent, seeing those 2 islands north of it, and then the shipwreck there, and then an island to the southwest. That's actually a solid choice. They might go there, but they may also go west or northwest quite a bit. So yeah, Griffion's she's gonna run out of room in a little while, so she's probably not gonna contribute to the home island discovery. She's just kind of doing reconnaissance on an island on an area that's not too great. So alright, at least not too busy, not too good for home island location. So, the Corsairs, trying to remember, they were going to go through this whirlpool, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I remember that now. I think she signaled to the Pharaoh's Legacy, who's like the flagship of the fleet, or the leader, sort of. But the Tangier is going to, yeah, let me see. Because they didn't see anything north, really, either. Or at least not very much. So, yeah. So the Tangier is going to take the plunge, especially with galley and a crew. So with a 2-master, normally if you have a 2-master going through a whirlpool, it gets risky because if you roll badly both times, including the return trip, if there is some kind of return trip, then you'll be dismasted. But this ship has a crew, so she could lose a crew instead of a mast, and also the galley keyword allows her to move S when derelict or when dismasted. So not a big deal there. So she's not too scared of bad whirlpool rolls, I should say. Speaking of the rules, though, I am using my whirlpool rules where a 1 to 3 roll is bad, 4 through 6 is good, opposite of what the established rules are, just because it makes way more sense to want to roll high in this game as usual. So this gets a little awkward, but because I'm just going to look around at the different whirlpools. I'm going to zoom out actually and see where they want to come out. Like I said, probably in the last stream or whatever, I'm not treating this like Command the Oceans where like the factions are like actually exploring. It's like that thematically, but like I'm just not. This game is going to be kind of wacky and kind of I don't know. I'm not really interested in exploring every inch of the map with all 10 factions. So they can see, they can kind of pick where they want to come out of the whirlpool. I see the southwest is very busy with islands compared to the southeast, but they do see some ships already there, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that develops soon. And there's a whirlpool there too. That's an interesting spot because they could try to settle that island there. But galleys are not a great candidate for Sargasso Seas because there's not many big galleys that they would use for gold running probably. So that island to the southeast is not such a great wild island. If they made that other island their home island, yeah, kind of meh options here. Plenty of whirlpools to come out of, just not necessarily near a good home island location. So interesting. That one is interesting. They settled there, and then they would be real close to the Ring of Fire. That would be crazy. I don't know. I don't really want that. That's the tough one. Or they could go closer to the Cursed. There's not many whirlpools right there. That is weird. There's no whirlpools in that area. It's not too close. Ooh. Okay, I think I like this. If they come out of this whirlpool here, surrounded by the fog. I'm going. Sorry, I got a throat problem from like a little while ago. They come out of there. They've got the Ring of Fire to the east, and they got some interesting home island locations elsewhere. Yeah, the lack of island like busyness in the southwest or the southeast, I should say, could result in the Corsairs going totally in a totally different spot. And yeah, looking to the northwest, I know I'm taking a while, but it's extremely important because if they come out of a certain whirlpool, their home island location might directly result from that. So it's massively important for the Corsairs. Looking at this island, that I highlighted the coins there, it's okay. There's some stuff around it, but it's kind of far away. This island, again, pretty much the same thing. They already know they don't want to explore that island that the Pharaoh's Legacy is checking out because the fog. And then up here, this one is actually pretty fascinating location as well. This is a tough choice. But they've already pretty much committed to going through the whirlpool. They could just pass over it, but they don't want to because I like that area. I think that would be pretty interesting. So the Tangier is going to take the plunge. That ends her move action. Basically, she's going to come out of this whirlpool here. I'll roll in a second once I determine where I'm coming out of the whirlpool. Looks like, well, I could just go right there if I wanted to, but I might as well end up in a fog bank. Although, I guess rules-wise, you shouldn't be able to, but I'm not going to worry about that. Usually I like to place the stern of a ship on the edge of the whirlpool, so anyway. So I think that's alright there. She's going to go right there, roll for damage, and she did roll low, so she has to lose a mast, a crew, or a treasure. Can't enter 5S, 3S, so she's actually going to lose her main mast and only have one left standing, but she's got a crew as well. Without many, there's no gunships around really yet, realistically, so she's not worried about losing a mast to the whirlpool. So that really, man, I like this map. This is fun. Yeah, there's some interesting home island locations out there for them. I still like this island too, so I don't know if they change their mind, they could come back to this one. But again, you're still dealing with a lot of terrain and islands being kind of far away. So one of these islands near this whirlpool, one of those three probably could be a nice choice. And then of course with the galleys, they'll probably use a lot of 1- and 2-masted galleys for gold running. Well, and 3s, but so these reefs on the western edge of the Ring of Fire might actually not deter them all that much, depending on some of their strategy and whatnot. Anyway, alright, I'm not exploring that, so let's not look at that yet. Anyway, gotta get another drink, and I'll look at the jades. Tiger Lily is just going west, and then they've got Sea Panda. Yeah, there are a lot of parallels to Vassal Campaign Game 4, and the games are in a similar spot in terms of progress, because like factions are finding home islands in both games. There's 10 factions in this one, there's 12 in the CG4, so it is kind of weird. Get things mixed up, and the map is the same size, just a lot of different stuff going on. Alright, and maybe the Jades will actually have a home island pretty soon. I think they do like that one, so they might take it. So they've got 4 islands, 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of not too far away. It's not really close to a world, well, it's kind of close to different whirlpools. That could be a good thing though. And then they could make longer trips to go to either the Ring of Fire or this triple island lagoon terrain line of stuff there off to the east. So I think they like that island actually. And that could be good for them because if the Corsairs don't settle one of these islands, which it doesn't look like they will at this point, that could be good for the Jades, but also good for the Corsairs. The Corsairs, they don't really want to compete with the Jades locally. So, alright. So let me figure out. River Crystal is the final Jade ship. Plus has to her base move when she's within the nest of an island or land, but she's not, so she might check out the Vortex, and is maybe barely within like signaling distance of the Sea Panda. So you'll see they have a home island there. Alright, so that's pretty interesting as well. Not quite as interesting as the Corsair situation. But anyway. Oh, hey, Artist Turn is on. Thanks for watching. Which 2 factions were left out? So, basically, well, it's kind of complicated because CG4 is using, the Mercenaries are a faction, and then, like, with a home island and everything, they just got their home island. We're ignoring the Mercenary and Expatriate keyword rules, and then we're using the Dutch, which I'm also using in the Hourly campaign here, and then CG4 also uses a custom fantasy faction called like the Hyrulean Conglomerate or the Alliance, and that one is a mixture of like Legend of Zelda customs from Al Cazador, along with any other customs that are not part of the main 11 factions, which are the 10 WizKids and then including the Dutch. So basically, I'm not using the Hyrulean Conglomerate as an actual faction in the Hourly campaign, and the mercenaries are just going to function as regular mercenaries. So, okay. Thanks for popping in. Still early in the game here. Turn number 8 in progress of the Hourly campaign. And now I go to a really interesting situation in the Southwest where, guess who's at it again? The Pirates and the Spanish are, like I said in the last stream, there are 2 factions that have fought the most in the history of my games and collection. They have a bitter rivalry going back to 2011 and have fought an innumerable number of times since, including campaign games and huge games and all that. So first, though, I think I might I might as well move this one real quick. She's got to be careful not to explore yet, though. So the Pacifica has reached this island. Secret Hold, S Explorer, and Ship Treasure Trading. So she's got 3 different keywords there. Alright, so this is a really interesting situation because the pirates are approaching this same island. So I have an interesting idea, but let me make sure. Let me just find out if it's even legal, if it's in the pirate code or something that I can actually find. Let me try to figure this out here. basically I want to use S Explorer on the same turn that I dock, but I don't think that's really what you're supposed to do. So I think I've thought of this before, but once per turn, if the ship is within S of an island. Yes, that's just in general. Interesting. Okay. So basically, I'm just thinking about how the rules of the hourly campaign state that you have to actually dock at an island you explore to make it your home island. But the Pacifica has S Explorer. She doesn't have the actual Explorer keyword. Let me try to find this in the pirate code. So sometimes when I find stuff in the pirate code, I highlight part of the ability, and then yeah, there we go. Paste it into, or you can type in a game piece name, which sometimes will help as well. So, explored marker, yep. Alright, I don't see anything against it. This is a tough one. Because the Spanish are just basically wondering if it's legal to go up to the island without docking at it, use the first two segments of the Pacifica's move action to mark it explored, and then use the final action to dock, which since they've already explored it with the S Explorer ability, then it would become their home island. So then they can kind of establish a home island and kind of steal this island right out from under the pirates who are about to dock there. So, but the Spanish need to consider whether or not they actually want it to be their home island. But I think they do. I like this spot a lot. So the Southwest is pretty crowded with islands, maybe a little bit too much, but they basically have 5 islands in the near vicinity, and then they've got the shipwreck near that other one. Even if the pirates make a home island on one of those 5, which I don't know that they would, this is still a nice location either way. Now they've got a few whirlpools that they could use to go elsewhere on the map. So this is actually quite a good situation. All right. And even if this isn't legal, it should be. I'm going to ask Wolf in the rules thread at Pirates with Ben, like today. I'm going to make it, I got to write this down. So let me just do this right now before I forget. So this game, since I'm live streaming the whole thing, you can see how long decisions take. You can see, I have to make a note about this to ask a rules question. Like the campaign game time commitment piles up so fast, and like the game slows down quickly between unique treasures in this game and decisions, and obviously fleets expanding and combat are the two biggest reasons. But anyway, so S Explorer used on same turn as docking to take coins. So in a regular game, you could maybe use this tactic to take coins immediately. It just says once per turn if the ship is within S of an island. So that's what they're doing. So she's within S of an island. So the Spanish are going to mark it explored. They actually marked another island explored already, but it got reset with the adrift UT. So the Spanish are going to do that. And then using the last segments, the Pacifica is going to dock. And since they use the ability to already explore it, now that they've docked, this becomes their home island. So the Spanish, they're going to look at the UTs in a second. But the Spanish, I'm just going to put the crew there so I know for sure. Wow. Alright, so pirates are probably pretty pissed. We'll see how they respond once I finish the Spanish turn with these UTs, which could take a while as well. We'll see. Oh, wow. 2 copies of fireworks on the same island. So that's weird. This is a nice UT. Load it face down, and you can get +2 to your cannon rolls rather than just +1. So suddenly, suddenly the Pacifica is dangerous too. She doesn't have a captain, but she could just let a ship come to her and then unload with fireworks. So if she used one of those, I guess, so 2s would become 4s. Yeah, so with 3S cannons, they essentially become 1S, because a roll of 2 would become 4 with the +2 bonus. So all of a sudden, the Pacifica has the potential for 2 turns worth of rank 1S cannons, or 1S I should say, rank 1. Okay, nice. That is weird. Because, like, there are some UTs I duplicated, of course, to get to the... There's, like, 175, I'm pretty sure. Let me just check to make sure. 53 islands total, and then 175 UTs at the start of play, 3 for the regular 45 islands. So, 2 shipwrecks with 12 coins combined. No UTs on the shipwrecks. So, anyway. Alright. And then we've got Holy Rope, which is one I made not too long ago. Crew on the ship with the word boarding in their ability text cannot be eliminated. So alright, so the Pacifica is going to load up her UTs here. That is nice. She's got some surprise firepower via fireworks in her hold now. So she packs a little bit more of a punch than it looks like. She's kind of like a giant, expensive, like exploring hybrid type ship. So anyway, all right. So the Spanish have explored a home island, hopefully using a legal maneuver with the S Explorer ability, and they've stolen an island right out from underneath the pirates, who go next. So let's see how the pirates respond here. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it's legal. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but whatever. So if Wolf outrules it, I don't really see why that would be the case. So that's the type of thing where, you know, it could be a good house rule to make, because I don't know what would prevent them from doing that. So it's a little gamey, but whatever. And they're facing, the pirates are charging hard, and they're pirates are the best faction in the game. So if you're going to be gamey, you know, having the pirates be the victim of it is, better than taking advantage of the mercenaries. So, all right. So Lost Genie of Arabia has got a role for the ability here for the pirates. Okay. So he stays pirate. Okay. Because the previous 2 turns he changed. I think he became a Viking or something. And yeah, and then he changed back to pirate. So the pirates keep him as a pirate. Lost Genie of Arabia. So now we can roll for extra action. Okay, so he didn't get it. If he got it, that would be big, because the pirates would be able to, if the Spanish did do an illegal maneuver, Brigand's Nation would be able to dock with a move action and then explore with the extra action. But I like how they didn't get the EA, so in that case, it kind of avoids some controversy here, or some potential controversy. So anyway, so the pirates, they kind of got beat by the Spanish, beat them to the island. So they got to figure something new out. And I think, I don't know, they might split up, actually. That's a tough one. Let me just see. The Black Crow doesn't have oarsmen built in or anything. I'm thinking about whirlpools and stuff like that. Nah, she doesn't have any. She doesn't have a oarsman type ability or anything. So, I'm trying to think. So the pirates only saw that one island on their way in. I think the pirates are gonna. I think they're not gonna. They see all the reefs in the southwest, and they can almost see some of this stuff down here. So, and they know the Spanish have come from the southwest area, sailing in from the corner, or at least they think so, rather than from this whirlpool. So the pirates kind of figure the Spanish are going to kind of lock down this area, and having a home island very close to the Spanish, probably not too advantageous. So I think the pirates are going to stay together and head northeast. All right. Around to the Americans. Anchor. Let me see here. They got 3 ships. Okay. They split up really early, right from the first turn, I think. And they haven't really found what they want yet either. They haven't really found a good location for home island or anything. They got some good ships here. in their starting fleet, though. So, Deceptive Bounty. Yeah, and they might encounter the French within a turn or two here. We'll see. So they're still going in different directions for the most part. The Anchor is not finding. She found an island, but she doesn't really like. There's not much around it. Other islands are not close to it. So, alrighty, that concludes turn number 8, or no, 5. This is session number 8. That was turn 5, and I gotta decrease the resource counter. So 2 turns left until the next resource change. That's mostly only relevant to the English and maybe the Cursed. But anyway, so let me make sure got this recorded. And then I'm gonna start, I gotta start recording the resource roles and durations for the whole game, hopefully. So anyway, not something to worry about quite yet, but anyway. So the French, I gotta figure out what they want to do here, because I think last time I left off with the French thinking this island looked decent as a potential home island location. Looking at it from the zoomed out map, it's okay. I don't know. There's not a lot of hostile stuff around it, but there's also not many wild islands close to it. Talking about this island here, they're probably going to dock at. I think they might go for it. They know coming in they haven't really seen much, and the south, or looking further south a bit, doesn't really look much more promising, so I think the French are probably going to settle there. But I don't think they have any explorers. Let me see here. Unicorn Pearl and the Night Jewel. Nope, no explorers for them. Oh, that was good timing. Found a decent spot to stop the music real quick. So the Cursed French are pretty much going to make that their home island. At least they're quite sure. The Cursed are up next, and they have an interesting situation going on because the Wisp is a fog hopper, and she has Plague, so she could be a suicide death ship if she wants to be, and even more so because of John's Cutlass. If the ship wins a boarding party, eliminate all the other ship's cargo. So that's pretty devastating. And then she's also got some textiles aboard and the Cross of Coronado. So the Wisp used fog hopping to get transported quite a ways away from the rest of the Cursed fleet. And she also has Barrel of Monkeys. Uh-oh. That could apply to the Plague. It says, randomly choose one of her treasures. So that could be any. That could be unique treasure. So, place it face down. Oh, boy. Alright. Well, she might lose the Plague. So, alright. So that's going to stay on the ship. Or wait. Oh, I think I've thought about this before. Wait, let me just look at the UT real quick. Again, this is where the game gets complicated. It's like, can I lose the barrel? Alright, so it doesn't say anything about that. I think I may have already seen this in the code, but okay, Barrel of Monkeys is not included in the random selection. Darn. Other unique treasures are included in the random section only if they can be legally removed from this ship, which they can, for the most part. Yeah, Plague, of course, can be removed. It is removed when you touch another ship. Okay, so this is a weird one. So the monkeys, I guess they wouldn't care about the textiles. I mean, it's a resource. It's not a treasure. So the 2 coin is really just a resource. So, and yeah, I don't think the monkeys would care about that compared to the other stuff. Although, not that they would want the Plague. I guess they survived the Plague. Anyway, so I'm just going to assign the first treasure on the left 1 to 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6. So just determining which one gets put back on the island, and it is the Plague. So that's pretty interesting. Let me just put it in the locker so I don't drag my cursor all the way down to the bottom of the screen. Sometimes, like, when you drag a coin, so for example, I'll put this in the ocean. If I drag it down to the bottom, it'll start taking me down, but then sometimes it doesn't stop. Like, that time it stopped, so, like, you can try to game it, but, okay, that actually worked pretty well. So, anyway, sometimes you can't stop the scrolling even when you bring your cursor back away from the edge. So, it's kind of weird, but, I don't understand what that coin is. Huh. I guess I won't look at it. I don't know. Alright. I feel dumb. I don't understand what that coin is. Maybe it's like trees. I feel like it is. Anyway, I guess I could watch last stream, but it's not part of my hourly. It's not part of my hourly, hour per week time commitment for this game. So anyway, so I put the treasure back. So now I'll put Barrel Monkeys on the regular ship's deck plate. So the Wisp just goes back into the fog bank because she wants to get home to unload textiles and whatnot, and maybe do a UT swap, stuff like that. Barrel Monkeys is not a UT that a treasure running fog hopper wants aboard, to say the least. So probably give it to some other ship. Cross of Coronado is probably going to get transferred as well. So anyway, I have made a house rule. I don't know if it's in the actual rules document in the description, but alright, that was a little too close. But anyway, I made a rule where you can basically just unload UTs at your home island, face down or face up. I don't really, unless it's something that can't be unloaded, obviously, but for the most part, I'm going to be pretty lenient on unique treasures being put on home islands, or maybe even wild islands, like unloaded back, if you were going to try to hand it off to another faction or something. But I'm planning to be pretty lenient on that in general. So they've got a couple slow ships in their fleet as well. Part of the con of starting with 4 instead of 2 or 3. Not a lot of crew, but that's alright. And Opal Shrine is a decent one. Kind of a funky ship. Fun one, though. Custom I made pretty recently, actually. She docks at that island. That's going to be the third island, the Cursed Explorer, already in the first, like, 6 turns or so. Or, well, they explored on turn 7. So, anyway, they've got their home island set up. Cursed are doing pretty well overall. And now I get back to the English. So that's a full turn. So that took about 40 minutes, which is kind of a lot, but there's a lot of decisions to be made already. A couple of rules things, and overall, just a lot to do each faction turn, even though the fleets are still small. So the UTs really slow it down a ton, but it's fun to have UTs at the start for the most part. Sometimes I don't like UTs at the start in campaign games because they can unbalance things. Like if one faction finds Lost and rolls a 6, you can dump Sargasso Seas underneath all the other factions, like small gold runners, and trap them. So there are definitely a lot of cons to keep in mind with putting unique treasures at the beginning of a campaign game. So I've run into some problems with that. That's actually what happened in Century of the Empires back in 2013. I think the French, one of their treasure runners got stuck for a really long time. But anyway, so the King's Cove can't use their ability right now. King's Heart, and yet it's gonna get a little bit annoying. But I'm gonna have to like recheck UTs like all the time. So rats that are marked. It's gonna be like impossible to memorize too, especially because there's so many and there's so many custom ones. So alright, so none of these UTs are gonna be applied while the ship is going home. So the King's Heart rolls for SAT, and she gets it this time. So she's gonna come close to making it home actually, which is nice. Alright, let me see if I can thread the needle. Yep, yeah, it's not too difficult. Bigger ships would have a problem though, like a 4-master. I don't think that would work. Definitely not a 5-master. Oh wow, she's home. SLS times 2 gets the King's Heart home, which is really awesome for the English. But their resources are not valuable right now, I believe. Let me make sure here. So on a die roll of 6, which is the current roll, luxuries, the number 6 resource are only worth 1. So in that case, the English are certainly not going to cash out for 1 gold. So the King's Heart. Okay, each non-unique treasure on this ship is worth 1 fewer gold when unloaded. Rats cannot be unloaded. So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna apply that to the resources. That's a tough one. Because the thing about it is like the rats like trying to eat the stuff or something or take it for themselves. It's a weird one. I think it's worth, since it can't be unloaded, I think it's worth keeping on the ship and just having it only apply to gold and not resources. And the reason it's awkward is because I'm not getting any gold yet. The English haven't cashed out. So either I put the rats on the home island, which would be really brutal, and have it apply to their resources. That's just stupid. But if I cash out in a while from now, when the King's Heart isn't at home, it doesn't make any sense because the rats aren't. They're on the ship. They're not on land. So I think I'm just going to keep it on the ship and have it only apply to gold and not resources, just like the ability text says, to keep it simple and not have it be really annoying. Oh, here we go. Opal of Opalaka, when unloaded at your home island, its treasure is the main gold is the number of masts on the ship that unloaded it. Alright. So that one, whoops, I should find it here. Then they have letter of mark as well. Alright, that's the one right there. So it's a 3-masted ship. So they get 3 gold from the UT, custom UT. I think that's from Captain Mike, I believe. And then gold goes face down. Face up coins are resources. So they have 3 gold and a luxury token. Can't really launch anything with that realistically. They could get a helmsman back for the King's Cove from the one she gave to Patagonia, but she's not going to be back for a while, so they don't really care about that yet. And then she'll keep the Knights of Malta banner is going to stay aboard, and then just gotta remember the rats. If she ever loads gold, which she might not, and then let her mark. Yeah, she'll keep the rest of them. She's gonna keep the other ETs for now. She'll probably give the Knights of Malta banner to a gunship at some point. Try to see if they can rack up some gold by eliminating masts, but they're not planning to launch any gunships for a while anyway. So then, so that was alright. So I moved the King's Cove. Okay. So the Patagonia is the only other ship to get in action here. And they've had all 3 ships done. That's the English turn. And now the Vikings get to explore. Let me just check the stream real quick. Got like 15 minutes left, pretty much. And the Frost is going to explore this island. So the Vikings have a home island. And now they've explored their first resource island. And, alright. That's alright. So, the Frost finds ruins of destruction. There's no icebergs yet. I don't know when there will be. Instead, that might apply to ruins of Odin to destroy that if they need to. That's actually a chess piece. So ruins of Odin is out there somewhere, I'm pretty sure. The reason I don't have icebergs is because they're just really annoying. So I don't want to move them. I don't want to have to roll to move them and then move them every turn. I might use them at some point in this game, but I'm not really concerned with that. I'd rather just play. I don't really care too much about icebergs in general. And I always forget to roll for them, so I'm not worried about that. But Ruins of Odin is out there. That's the one that you can introduce an iceberg to the game, and then if it touches an enemy ship, that ship is eliminated. They get removed from play along with everything aboard. So if the Vikings are in trouble from Ruins of Odin, or if an allied fleet, if the Vikings have an ally whose ship is near Ruins of Odin, they could gain trust with another faction and destroy the destructive Ruins of Odin iceberg. So that's actually, might not seem like a big deal now, but that could develop into a decent situation, or not. It might not either, but, or if the Vikings get Ruins of Odin, they would have both. And then another fleet. Yeah, see, this is why I love campaign games, because this would almost never happen in a regular game. If the Vikings get Ruins of Odin, and then another faction uses a spire to look at face-down cargo on enemy ships and finds Ruins of Destruction, they might try to steal Ruins of Destruction to try to annihilate, or try to almost like cancel out the Ruins of Odin before it can actually affect play. Anyway, oh my god. This is why I love this stuff. So many good possibilities. Anyway, wet gunpowder is negative. So I should just have to get a repair action, but whatever. That one is pretty meh. So she's not really going to be given many shoot actions in this game anyway, most likely. And then protection from Davy Jones is a good one. So you can go through whirlpools without having to roll for damage, which is great. So 2 positives and a negative. Not a big deal in terms of islands, but now I get to roll for the resource, which is spices. So 5. So spices, number 5 resource, and they are worth 6 right now, 6 gold apiece, but there's only a few more turns left, and the Frost is not going to have time to get home and unload them. So anyway, and she does want the Ruins of Destruction. That one is loaded face down, and she only or wait, no, I think she has 3. Oh, she has 3 cargo, not 2. So she can take 2 spices. So it's a solid load. So what they're probably going to do is put the Ruins of Destruction on their home island, face down, and just leave it there. So, and the wet gunpowder, that one doesn't take up a space. So, alright. So that's all 3 cargo taken up. Not a bad island. A little disappointing maybe, but mostly just because the resources are probably going to change away from spices being valuable, but not a big deal. So, Khartoum is just going to continue south. She's pretty much set on this island. there. And then I just want to check what they got here. So shipwright, that's cool. Runes of Wealth is awkward. Dead Man's Chest. Alright, whatever. So that's the Vikings. Now the Dutch are in a funny spot. They've got a ton of ships and they can't seem to find a home island location that's even decent, let alone good. So yeah, they see this island here, but now they see, yeah, the Khartoum is going to explore that one. So there would already be competition from the Vikings. I will say this island is still decent though, because they've got a shipwreck there. Although the shipwreck probably won't. It's going to run out of gold most likely, or at least for a while. And then they've got an island northwest of there, and then they've got this trio of islands that is pretty much guaranteed to not be explored for home islands. The lagoon can't be, but these other islands, the Dutch have already passed on this one, and the Corsairs passed on the one that has Sargasso seas around like more than 50% of the island's circumference. So, so the Dutch, I will admit, that's not too bad of an island. They might have some competition from the Vikings, but they kind of want to get settled in too. So they might actually explore that. I think they're going to, probably. But since they won't be able to until 2 turns from now, they're going to try to use that time to scout things out more. So they're still going to continue in a generally northwesterly direction. The ship is going to go pretty much due west, or close to it at least. But yeah, they're not going to find much, and they're not going to be able to do any whirlpool traveling before they could potentially explore that island. So right now, this island looks like a pretty good candidate to be the Dutch home island. So we'll see. But the Corsairs are totally going elsewhere. About 8 minutes left. I gotta zoom out and find the Tangier. So the Dutch, or not the Dutch, the Corsairs have split up. Remember, Tangier is going to try to explore a home island way far away from where they entered the ocean, from the southeast to the center west area. She lost a mass to the whirlpool last turn. Now I'm just zooming in to see where she exits the fog. I can't see the dice markings when I'm zoomed out. Alright, that might be good enough. So, oh man. Alright, she's going to go around the ring around the rosy here. So the Tangier, it's fun to have, it's fun and frustrating to have fog where they're connected. So since she rolled a 4, she has to go straight into this fog bank now. And then if she rolls a 4 next turn, she goes into that one. So she might be in fog for a while. So, and that's actually kind of ironic because I did the Barbary Corsair 10th anniversary game in 2015. I had one wild island completely surrounded by terrain. I think it was all fog. So anyway, so the Pharaoh's Legacy still has to be given in action. So I mean, she might just go through the whirlpool as well. I mean, they see this island. They see that it has fog. They basically just confirm what they already kind of knew for the most part. They don't want it as a home island, and looking west, they can't really see much of anything other than more fog. So the Corsairs are not too impressed with their southeast starting location, so they're going to continue onward and basically go completely elsewhere. But the Jades are not, because I think she has an explorer too. I think the Jades are going to settle right now. Yeah, let me zoom out just to make sure they want to do that. This might be the last faction turn of the day. We'll see. Or the session. So the Jades like this area. Basically, I'm looking at the Sea Panda there. Looking at this island. They got 2 islands to the north. They got a whirlpool, kind of. They got 2 whirlpools surrounded by terrain, which is kind of weird, but could be a good thing too, because even though there's whirlpools relatively close to their home island, the reefs and the fog make it awkward and more disadvantageous for other factions to try to invade Jade Waters if they do settle there. Then they've got an island southeast, southwest. So yeah, like I said last round, they basically have 4 wild islands not too far away, some whirlpools, and then they've got that triple island chain to the far east a little bit, and then they're not too far from the Ring of Fire and where the Wisp would docked at that island. So pretty intriguing, I will admit. So yeah, I think that confirms it. The Jades are going to dock at that island right now, and the Sea Panda does have an Explorer, so they're going to settle in right now. And the Sea Panda is probably going to continue north after that, most likely, so she's going to dock on the northwest side of the island, pretty much. All right. So I'll look at the UTs in a second. So now that they've explored, hopefully I won't find wolves or something. That would be awkward. I don't know how I'd deal with that, but we'll figure it out. So the Jades have a home island. So that's cool. Frond of Saga, awesome. Marksman's Map, nice. Chest of the Jikaninki, nice. Alright. Oh, this is crazy. Oh, nice. They made a good choice. Alright. So, Marksman's Map. She'll use that right now, pretty much. Oh, they could use that with the chest. Oh, this is crazy. Oh, this is a great turn for the Jades. This is fantastic. Front of the Saga is a nice UT. And then, even on the negative effect, place it face down in the nearest wild island. So, even if they lose it soon, they could just explore another island to get it back. So that might stay in the family, sort of stay in the area for a while. Marksman's Map and Chest of the Jinkininki. This one is a really kind of an overpowered UT from the unreleased stuff of the WizKids documents that Wolf shared with me. We publicly released it on Pirate CSG podcast episode number 31, and it was one of the last pieces discussed. So the Jikaninki is a kind of a crappy cursed 2-master from Ocean's Edge. This is a UT with a similar name that reuses the name of the ship at least. It was never released. I think it was going to be part of Savage Shores, I think. But before this treasure is unloaded at your home island, roll a d6. She's already at her home island. Result of 1 to 3, eliminate all of the ship's crew. On a result of 4 through 6, randomly choose 4 face-down coins from any wild islands and place them face up on your home island. So that would be crazy, especially because it's all just UTs right now. So they could get negative ones. They could actually use that to accidentally transport wolves, a really negative UT, to their home island. That would be insane. And that could happen in a regular game too, not just this game. But it says before the treasure is unloaded, so I'm not gonna. The rules are generally harsh on automatic unloading at home islands. So this is a case where the chest gets loaded onto the Sea Panda, and she definitely needs to be given another move action to redock and unload it. So it'll have to wait till next turn, but that's fine. So hopefully they'll roll high, but if they don't, it'll be kind of anticlimactic, but whatever. And then I'm going to use the Marksman's Map right now. Once per turn, ship may look at one face-down treasure on any island. So I don't know if they might do that for a nearby island. They're just keeping that in mind for the Chest of the Jikaninki, because if they roll high, they can. It says randomly, but I don't like that, and it's going to be difficult to do that. So if they find a good UT that they want to get put automatically on their home island via the Chest of Jikaninki, they're going to do that. So, but they got to actually find one first. So I'm thinking I'm going to go far away, actually. I think that makes the most sense. They're going to go up to this random island that the Kursts are kind of looking at, and they're just going to peek at one of the coins here. So the marksman's map, ammunition. All right, that's a good one, but not really super special. I like it, but it's not like it's not going to change the Jade's game plan or anything. So now they just have their other two ships wherever they went. I have to zoom out. Okay, here we go. So Sea Panda signals to the River Crystal. They have a home island. And the River Crystal she's pretty much, I don't know, you could pretend she's within signaling distance of the Tiger Lily. And like I said already, I'm not going to be all historically accurate in terms of intelligence for this game. So it's going to be more laid back approach to the knowledge and intelligence that the factions have access to. So and that might be it. Let me see. Oh, yep. All right, so that's it. An hour has passed, and this was session 8 of the hourly campaigns. The Jade just got a home island. The curse situation is still pretty interesting. The Vikings are developing. That's kind of interesting. The most interesting things, though, this session were the Spanish finding their home island and denying that island from the pirates. And the pirates are kind of sneering at the Spanish as they sail away from the Pacifica. Definitely neither faction wants to actually engage in combat, but obviously the pirates aren't too pleased. And then the other big news, the Corsairs got quickly frustrated with their southeasterly location, and they have just totally gone away from there. The Tangier has appeared in a whirlpool just west of the Ring of Fire, and so they might be looking at a home island in the center west or the northwest area. So, and then the French look like they've probably found a home island. We'll see next turn if they explore or not. But anyway, so I got through all the rest of turn 5, and then I'm partway through turn 6. So I'm on to the Spanish. Let me make sure I write this down. So turn number 6, and I left off on the Spanish. So that's where you'll see me next time in part number 9, which will be in December. So thanks again for watching, and if you have any questions, just please ask.